Hello everybody. Today we're gonna make a video about showcasing which are the highest priorities that you should focus on when you get the 4 stars awaken 4. So what is the highest priority and what are the lowest priority, okay? We're gonna start by each class. This will include the missing 11 4 stars. Since it's announced we'll get Serna, who's one of the missing 11. So yeah, I decided to add all of them. So starting by Tahir's A4. Tahir's A4 is a 50 physical attack, 20 critical, and it gives a 10% physical attack up to the holder, which is very it's good priority, because if you think about it, 10% physical attack, 50 magic, 50 physical attack is a very good priority, especially for people that do not have Richard, or you're placing this accessory on someone like Zanta. Overall, it's a very good priority accessory, and that's it. So next up is Miles A4. Miles A4 is 30 physical defense, 300 HP, and 10 SP. This is also a good priority A4 because it gives the front row and the back row unit 10% physical defense up, which is actually really good for fights like Hell Cragspear, where you can use Gilderoy to taunt. Miles A4 in the back row unit will also benefit Gilderoy too. So yeah, keep that in mind. Trish A4, again, all warriors are actually above good priority, because Trish A4 gives it gives 20 physical attack, 20 speed, and 400 HP. And it gives the front row and the back row unit 10% sword damage up. This is very good because you can put it on somebody like Wingate, and it gives the front row ally basically 30% sword damage up. So yeah, it's very good accessory too. Cigarette A4, I'm gonna also put it at a good priority tier. Like I said, all warriors are above the average priority. The reason why Trish is also on good priority is that it gives 30 physical attack, 20 crit, 20 SP, and it also gives 15% sword damage up. And we do not have any 15% sword damage up, so this is a very amazing accessory, because we do not have any elite sword emblems at all. Okay, now this is Joran. He's one of the missing 11 4 stars, and his accessory is 70 critical, and when you break an enemy, it inflicts 10% sword defense down on break for 2 turns. Okay, this is actually highest priority. When Joran comes out, you should get his awakening 4 ASAP, because here is the reason. There is multiple accessories that will give 10% defense down of that type for 2 turns. But the reason why I put Joran in the highest priority, most of them probably gonna end up in the good priority, is how meta that weakness is. So the sword, as we all know, is currently basically all around the highest difficulty fights. So 10% sword defense down is actually really good. And if you put Cigarette on your team, you can have 3 turns, or 4 was one of the accessories we're gonna talk about, and you break with Richard or someone, you get 25% sword defense down, and that's basically like that's all for free, which is insanely strong. So yeah, this is why I put Jordan's a 4 in the highest priority list. Now to the merchants. This is a back-to-back highest priority. Defense a 4 is 20 physical defense, 20 elemental defense, and 300 HP. When there is a provoked enemy, grants self 15% physical defense up. So if there is a taunted enemy, you guarantee yourself to have 15% physical defense up. This is actually really, really good on any fight that is very, very heavy towards physical attacks. So someone like the Health Clerics Spear duo, where the bottom ad, she's like basically she deals a really high damage with physical attacks. So having this accessory is actually really good overall. So yeah, this is why it's on the highest priority. Helga A4, I'll put it on good priority because it gives 70 speed. This is, I think, the highest accessory that gives speed in the entire game. This is very amazing for speed control, and it also gives 250 HP regen unconditional. So yeah, it's actually like very nice accessory for speed management. Baron A4, actually also very good priority because it gives 50 physical attack, which is really high for a free accessory, 200 HP, and 15% spear damage up. This is very good on any spear unit that doesn't have 30%. This is also very good on Crosser if you do not have Richard, because it gives him 50 physical attack and 15% spear, which caps with Crosser. Now, you actually get... Yeah, this is a low priority, because it's 10 physical defense, 20 elemental defense, and 400 HP. On paper, 400 HP sounds very good, but passive-wise, if your HP is less than half, you get 500 HP regen, which I think is not worth, because getting below half HP and then getting only 500 HP as a comeback, I don't really think that is really good. If you're gonna put this accessory on somebody, it's probably gonna be for the HP, nothing else, and that's it. Now, Sorna, she's coming out on the 30th, and she'll be available to pull for. I know to get, and her accessory is actually not really good. It's 30 physical attack, 20 elemental attack, and 20 SP. When the enemy has spear defense down, you get 10% physical attack up. The reason why it's very low priority is how rare spear defense down we can get. The only two ways we can get it is through Paya and an ally from the living wallet. So you cannot even use it on Limbo. So yeah, this is why it's very low priority. Now we get to Thieves. Kurtz A4. This is the number one accessory you should go for. If no matter what, nothing in this tier list even come close to Kurtz A4. Kurtz A4 is basically 40 elemental attack, 20 speed, and 10 SP. The reason why it's on the highest priority is if you're at maximum HP your debuffs increase by 1 turn. This is already insane on any non-extendable debuffs. Like TT's skills, they will become 3 turns if she is at full HP, which is very high. You can also put this on someone like Mino, Cigarette, or Lyra to increase their passive by to 4 turns. This is the most versatile A4 that is free. Okay, and we're getting this very soon. So this is the first accessory that you should go for. Wingate is also on the good priority. It gives 20 physical attacks, 20 elemental attack, and 30 SP. When breaking an enemy, gives 10% dark defense down. The reason why it's not on the highest priority is the dark damage at the moment is just rare. We have Primrose, we have Stead, we have, I guess, Jamala was a fortune weapon, and that's it. There's not really a lot of dark DPS units, and that's it. This is why it's not on the highest priority. Class A4, I also think it's a good priority because it's the exact same as Trish A4, but it's dagger damage up. It gives 30 physical attack, 20 speed, and 20 crit. And again, it's the front row and the back row unit, 10% dagger damage up. So you can put it on somebody like Wingate. And if the front row unit is Serum, for example, he will have 30% damage up for dagger. So you can go full physical attack on his accessory and still have a lot of value. As alot A4, I also think this is a good priority, because if there is an ice resistance down, you get 10% elemental damage up. Elemental attack up. It's 30 physical attack and 40 magical attack, which is actually really good for any magical user, because 40 magical attack and 10% elemental damage up is very good. Dora on to A4, this is also one of the missing 4 stars. Is also going for the good priority. I would have dropped it for the average priority if one of the A4s we're gonna talk about did not exist. Okay? Dora on the A4 is 30 physical attack, 20 speed, and 20 SP. It gives all enemies at the start of battle 10% speed down. This is helpful for fights where the boss is very fast, like Birkin level 100 NPC, and it gives you like the ability to manage your speed against the boss more easily for the first few turns. Now for the Apothecaries. Starting with Shelby's A4. It gives 30 elemental defense, 30 SP, and 10 speed. It gives us a front row unit. It gives the front row unit 50% status element up if you are the back row. This is also a good priority, simply because there is the Apothecary Tower, which is full of status element. There's also the Thief Tower, which is full of status element. So this is really helpful to basically nullify some of those annoying factors. So yeah, Merit A4. This is a very good priority, because it's 30 elemental attack, 20 physical defense, and 20 elemental defense. It gives us a front row unit 10 SP region, which is actually very good. for any unit that has a lot SP issues, you can give this to the back row unit, and they will recover 10 SP every single turn. Now, since we mentioning a lot of accessories, Merit A4 is actually very good for someone like EX Sophia, because it gives a buff icon, so it activates your passive more easily. And if your back row unit is basically for support, you can put Class A4 also on that unit who's behind EX Sophia to get 2 icons, so it helps her have her passive. Now, either way, we're going to Rita's A4. Rita's A4 is low priority. It's 40 physical attack and 400 HP, and it gets 10% critical damage up by 10%. And it's not really useful because crit is not guaranteed. Even if you optimize your crits, you're still not gonna have 100% crit rate. So this is why it's on the low priority. If you're gonna use it, you're probably gonna use it for the stats, not for the passive. Rondon's A4. This is 50 physical attack and 20 elemental attack. You're only gonna use it for the stats. The 50 physical attack and 20 elemental attack. The only reason you'll ever use this accessory is for the stats, because passive wise, it's 500 HP regen when there's a bleeding enemy. You can't really consistently bleed outside if you have Herminia, so the 500 HP basically does not exist. Now, this is Cornelia. She's also one of the 11 4-stars that will come in the future. She is also in the highest priority list at this point, because it gives 30 physical attack and 40 critical. And the passive, when hitting enemy's weakness, 10% damage up. What that means is, if you add that weakness, it counts as 10%, let's say, sword damage up. This is very good for your unit. Like, actually, I'm not kidding, this is very good accessory for Cyrus, because if you put it on Cyrus, if he has the weakness, he has 20% fire, thunder, and ice damage up. Assume there's a scenario where all 3 weaknesses are available. It becomes 30% fire, ice, and thunder damage up for Cyrus. This is also very good for someone like Auguste or Herminia, or anybody that has 20% damage up as a passive. Now we go for the hunters. Starting with Ashland's A4. Ashland's A4 is 20 physical attack, 20 speed, and 300 HP. It's also in the low priority list. It has the same exact passive as Rita, which is 10% critical damage up. Again, crit is not something that you can guarantee, unless in the future we get something like guaranteed crit on a skill or something. And now we go to Bertrand A4. Bertrand A4 is 40 elemental attack, 10 speed, and 20 SP. This is automatically like one of the worst accessories, because it requires you to have a paralyzed enemy to get 10% physical damage up. Physical damage up on an accessory that gives elemental damage up is just weird. So this is why it's on the low priority. Even stat wise, it's not even that crazy. There's multiple elemental damage up that are far better from Bertrand A4. Now to Nars A4. Nars A4 is also one of the missing 4-stars, and he also suffers the issue with Ashland and Rita's A4, which is 10% critical damage up And stat wise, it's 40 physical attack and 30 speed. 30 speed is actually nice on an accessory like this, because it also gives some physical attack, so yeah. Now, we still have Hunters, so Camilla is also going for the priority. It's the exact same passive as Merit, which is 10% 10 SP recovery to the front row unit. It only matters the only thing that matters is the SP, not the stats. If you want the stats, it's 20 elemental attack, 20 speed, and 30 SP. So yeah. Lushera E4, I think it's on the average priority, because it's 15% bow damage up. That doesn't give any physical attack, unlike Sigurdsson 4. And we also have already have an Elite Hunter emblem. It's basically an Elite Hunter emblem with 20 critical, 30 speed, and 20 SP, which is not really a huge advantage over the normal Elite, unless in some niche speed management. Lolo is also one of the 11 4-stars. I think it's also in the good priority, because on break, he inflicts the enemy with 10% bow resistance down. And stat wise, it's 30 physical attack, 30 crit, and 10 SP. He applies 10% bow resistance down for 2 turns. Any on break accessory for a 4-star is 2 turns, not 3 turns. Medellin, okay, we're gonna go for Clerics, sorry, I got sidetracked. Cedric A4. Cedric A4 is overall, I think it's the average priority A4, because there is it gives 40 physical attack, 10 elemental defense, and 20 critical. And stat wise, passive wise, at the start of battle, medium chance to inflict to all enemies with bleed. So it's helpful for someone like Stead or Jamila. I would suggest putting this accessory on Jamila, because that would give her if there is a bleeding enemy, it will bleed them for 4 turns, allowing Stera and Jamila to be at 4 bow, at their maximum power for the first 4 turns, which is very good. Romuria E4, I also think this is a an average or a low priority. I'm gonna put it on average, because we have EX Sophia, and you can put this accessory to give her a 250 HP icon regen. Actually no, low priority, because we have the Propheric armor, which I call the Fortune armor, that gives regen already, so it's not gonna really help. Now to Medellin A4. Medellin A4, I think it's average. It's 30 physical attack, 20 elemental defense, and 20 speed. And the passive is when you're in the back row, gives the front row ally 10% physical attack up. I think this is good when once Loto comes out, because he also has a passive where it gives him and the front row with 10% physical attack up if Lolo's at full HP. Other than that, I think it's an average priority. If Rain, let's just go over Mino first. This is why Durand A4 is on the good priority, because Mino A4 is 10% elemental damage up when there is an enemy who has speed down, and it also gets 30 elemental attack and 40 SP. So it's very good at E4 with Durand A4. So think of it of a combination. Now we actually have two clerics that we do not have in the global version. First one is a Frame. Frame, I also think it's on the average priority. He has 50 physical attack, which is good for a free accessory. 10% elemental damage, elemental attack, I mean, and 10 spear. It gives 15% staff damage up. I mean, it's good. It's very niche, I guess. It's not good. It's just niche. Stat wise, very good, but at least it gives 15% damage up with the correct stat. I mean, what I mean by that, there's Mallory 4, which gives elemental damage, and 15% staff damage up, which is not something good. At least if Rain is physical attack and 15% staff damage up. Now, Brigade, I also think this is an average priority. This is the highest HP accessory. It gives 10% elemental attack, 10 speed, and 500 HP for a free accessory, which is a lot. And it gives a holder 30% status element nullification. It's actually really good with Shellby, because it gives 80%. So yeah, and that's it, basically that. Now we have Scholars, starting with Heinz A4. Heinz A4 is actually, with Wingate, I think it's a good priority because it gives all enemies 10% dark resistance down for 3 turns. And it gives 40 elemental attack, 10 physical defense, and 20 SP, which is very good for a free accessory. Perdrier, also in the good priority. On break, he inflict 10% fire resistance down for 2 turns, and it gives 40 elemental attack and 30 SP. It's a good accessory for fire damage, and that's pretty much it. Noel's A4. This is actually a very high good priority. I also by the way, those are not in order, but there's some exceptions, like Noel's A4. Noel's A4 is 30 elemental attack, 20 speed, and 20 SP. When the enemy has wind resistance down, it gives 10% elemental damage up. The reason why it's very high in the good priority is that when defense down is so easy to get. So you basically, this is basically count as unconditional 10% elemental damage up. So yeah, this is why. Levian is also one of the 11 that we do not have. His accessory gives 40 elemental attack, 10 elemental defense, and 20 SP. And when you break an enemy, you inflict 10% light damage up. This is a very good accessory, in my opinion, especially on somebody that, like a fight like Burkane, and or any future fight that would require you to use light damage, which we have actually like few solid options since we got Eliza. We also can have use Adea and Eliza, and Hasumi. Vulcan and Oder has light units, so this is why it's on the good priority. Kenneth, this is with Athlite. Both work insanely good together. It gives 10% ice resistance down for 3 turns to all enemies, which procs Athlite's passive of 10% elemental damage up when there's ice resistance down. And it also gives 40 elemental attack and 30 SP. So this is why both are very good together. Now to the there's Lyra. Lyra is also on the good priority because it gives 10% lightning defense down tall enemies, which is very good when if Bertrand is on the team, because that will be 25% lightning defense down for 6 turns. It's very good for farming, I guess, if you're using someone like Ilvis or TT to farm with. And that's pretty much it. Now to the final class, which is Dancers. Iris A4. I think it's... Currently, I actually think this is in a very low priority list. The reason being, it's 10% fan resistance down for the first 3 turns. And we do not have any way to extend that debuff. If we had something that could extend it, it could go all the way in the good priority. But even the Japanese version, the only way you can actually extend this is not even that effective. And you're not really gonna get a lot of value out of this, because it's only 30 physical attack and 20 crit. So this is why it's also not really, like, stat-wise, not really that good compared to the others. Fabio A4, I think this is also one of the very high priorities that we have, because it gives 10% when defense down on break for 2 turns. It gives 30 elemental attack, 20 speed, and 20 SP. The reason why I put it very high right now is we have Tickling A4, which is 20% when defense down. And with Fabio, it's 30%. And Wind is actually, like, team-wise, is actually very solid right now, because we have Sophia EX, which is number 1 damage, Wind DPS. We have also someone like Tiklin, who got a massive buff with the fortune weapons, and that's it. Paola is literally the trio. The trio? Oh my god, I cannot. Okay, let me just... Okay. Basically, all 3 are this trio. A4, because she also gives all enemies 10% dark defense down. With Heinz A4, it becomes 20% for 6 turns of dark... 20% dark defense down. And if you break with Wingate A4, you get 30% dark defense down. So yeah, dark has a lot of good accessories. It's just we like the units at the moment. And stat wise, it gives 30 elemental attack, 30 physical defense, and 10 speed. Mabel, it's exactly the same as Camilla and Merit. I will say it again. While in the back row, gives the front row alot 10 SP. And it's 20 elemental attack, 20 physical defense, and 30 speed. And that's it. It's very simple. Mina A4 is also the very good priority list, in my opinion. It's exactly the same as Miles A4, but unfortunately it does not give an HP. It gives the front row and the back row unit 10% physical defense up. And stat wise, it's 10% physical attack, 30 elemental defense, and 30 speed. It's only good for the passive, not for the stats. And yeah, this is the priority list, in my opinion. Remember, this is my personal list, and some accessories might be better than some for your own purpose. So yeah, and until then, see you later, guys.